Hi, and welcome to episode 82 of C3 Crystals, Cauldrons, and Cocktails. I'm Wren. Wow, I almost forgot to say my name.
And I'm River.
And today we are going to be talking about numerology. And this is a request from one of our patrons.
Yeah, Jessica.
Yay! Yes, thank you,
Yay.
Jessica. Woo! But first, what are we drinking?
Okay, so this one is actually also kind of inspired by another patron, Claire, because she was talking about mint juleps. And I've got a whole bunch of chocolate mint just growing wild out. It's like taking over the backyard. So this one I'm calling Bring On the Booze, BOOS. Clever.
Okay.
Haha. Um,
Haha.
so I'm use the chocolate mint that's in our backyard. And I wanted to try a cocktail with that, but I wasn't up to drinking whiskey today. And so this one has lime juice, simple syrup, the chocolate mint leaves, white rum, and club soda to taste.
Okay.
And it's
Okay.
pretty refreshing. I think this would really be a nice drink when it's super hot outside. And I love that
hmm
it's made
hmm
from my own herb garden,
hmm
my
Oh, yeah.
wildly overgrown herb garden.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's funny because they say mint is the hardest thing to kill because, like, once you plant it, it's everywhere.
Hmm.
Mint is the hardest thing for me to keep alive.
Really?
Yeah, I planted mint this season. Like, we went and got some herbs and everything. I got basil and, oh gosh, I got parsley and I got, oh, what was the other one? I can't do lavender. I always kill my lavender.
You're way ahead of me. I haven't done any of that yet.
Well,
This
we did
mint's
that.
from before.
My husband was, when was it? It was like a month, 2 months ago.
Well,
And
maybe
it had
mint froze.
started getting, no, 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 no. It had started getting warmer. And so my husband, he did a little bit of spring cleaning. He cleaned off the balcony, he was like, let's go get plants. Like, okay, whatever. And everything else is fine. So I know it's not frost or anything. I know
Uh,
that it didn't freeze. Like all my other herbs are fine. And we brought my herbs in when it dipped below a certain
hmm
degree. Like
hmm
but if it dipped below like 50, we brought them in.
Okay.
And so I just can't keep mint alive. And I tried planting mint last year as well. Couldn't keep it alive. And I know I've taken some of your chocolate mint and I haven't been able to
Mm.
keep it alive.
It's so good. You should take some more now that it's warmer. Um, I just got my pots. I ordered white pots that I'm going to put little bee stickers on that I make on my
hmm
little Cricut machine. And
hmm
I'm going to plant my herbs in that with the name. I'm going to do the name of the herb on my Cricut machine as well and put it on there. And my husband's going to make me a little tray off the edge of our deck that they can sit on. And
Oh,
we're going to do that soon. Now that Easter has passed, the Farmer's Almanac says we can now plant because supposedly the danger of frost is gone, although it did get down to like 40 degrees last night, which I guess is
yeah.
not frost temperature. I don't know.
No, because my plants are fine. They sit outside.
Yeah.
I've kind of gotten lazy, but they're all thriving. Don't let plug your ears, Greg. My
Yeah,
plants are
he must
thriving.
cringe every time we talk about our personal plants.
Listen, though, you'll be glad to hear. My husband has a green thumb without even
Mine
trying.
does too.
Like, I'll water them the exact same amount that my husband will water them. And I look at my husband, I'm like, damn, you're drowning those things, right? And he's
Hmm.
like, no, it's fine. It's fine. So I just let him do it. And they are thriving. But if I try to water it that same amount, I would drown them and they would be dead.
That's hilarious because we're the witches. I mean, we
Yeah,
should be the
yeah.
ones. I never admit, I never claim to be a green witch. I
Oh
do
no, me
not have a
neither.
green
Nope,
thumb.
nope, 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 nope. I want to be, but I know that any garden that I will ever have will be sustained by my husband.
Yay, same here.
Yeah.
Yep. We're actually working on getting our garden area ready, and we've
hmm
had trouble the past 3 years. The deer have eaten everything,
Yeah, I know you've
everything.
been complaining.
So this year we've made, I say we, like I've had anything to do with it. My husband has made these little gate things that are going to go over. We
Oh,
do
okay.
raised beds. And
hmm
so hopefully this will keep the deer out this year and we'll actually have some some stuff
Hopefully, I hope it
come up.
works out.
I
Yeah.
hope so. I do love the garden. I think I'm more of a kitchen witch than the green witch, though, because my favorite part is bringing in the produce and cooking it and eating from my
Yeah.
own garden.
Yeah. I
Whereas
do
he's
like
the
that.
one that keeps everything alive.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I was planning on making spaghetti tonight and I was going to use some of my fresh basil that I have.
Oh,
But I'm not making spaghetti anymore. I made potato salad instead.
that sounds lovely to me. I think we're
My
having
potato salad's so good. Well,
fish
that sounds good.
tacos. Yeah.
No, I was literally cooking my potato salad and I think I have everything. I'm like, yep, boiled my potatoes, peeled off the skin, cut them, did my normal recipes like celery and no eggs. Forget the eggs. Forget I said eggs for a second. A celery and onion and I
Onions.
pickles, sweet pickles. And I'm like, okay, what am I missing? Eggs.
And you didn't have any?
I forgot. No, no, I just forgot to boil them. I
Oh,
forgot I forgot it was even a part of the recipe and I was like, something missing.
to me
It seems not dense, like
makes
less dense.
that makes that recipe is the
Oh no,
eggs.
it's so good. And
Mm.
so I had to wait and I put my eggs on literally 30 minutes before we were supposed to start podcasting. I was like, I hope they're done. And you know how I do it. I don't wait for the water to boil. I just throw the eggs in there and I'm like,
I actually have one of
give it a
those
little
little
bit of time.
machines that you put the water in the bottom and you put the eggs in it and it cooks
Oh
it.
yeah.
And you can
Yeah.
set it to whatever and it cooks them beautifully.
I am not as bougie as you, okay? I don't have a fancy egg cooker. So I just had
It's
to eyeball it.
it's definitely worth it. Tell your husband
Eh,
you want one.
yeah, well, it's okay. I'm just like you guys can't see my face, but I'm over here thinking, like, what process do I need to do to get an egg machine? But no, so yeah, no spaghetti, potato salad.
Okay. Well, let's talk some numbers.
Yeah.
So, what is numerology? And I'd heard of it before, but I really didn't know anything about it. And it's something that you actually can use in your magic, which there is so much to talk about that I haven't even gotten in this episode. I don't think we're going to get to how you can use it in magic. So, there will probably be a part two at some point down the road. But
Yay. We love
all right.
part twos.
The basic principle of numerology is that numbers have spiritual and magical significance. Some numbers are more potent and powerful than others, and combinations of numbers can be developed for magical use. In addition to magical correspondences, numbers also tie into planetary significance. So it's right up a
Hmm.
witch's alley for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, and Jessica said she uses numbers all the time. So
Mm,
I'm definitely want to learn some more.
yeah.
So it's also defined as a divinatory. Us and our little pronunciations, man.
Yeah.
It's uses the art of divination. How about that?
There we go.
To draw cosmic meaning, purpose, or guidance from specific numbers or number combinations. The significance of these numbers is usually found in a person's character or measured against certain life events. So it looks at how numbers influence our daily lives, just like astrology studies how planets do. So
Hmm.
it's very similar, except for it's using numbers, and numbers are everywhere. I mean, numbers
Yeah.
make up everything.
Everything, but also if you think about it in the idea that humans came up with all these things, that they exist nowhere at the same time.
Well, they've been there. We just put a name to it as humans. It's always been
It's the
there.
same thing with time. Time is just a
Yeah.
human construct.
Mm, mm,
Basically, all of our knowledge is just like a human construct, and we could be wrong about literally everything.
true. And we
Hmm.
probably are wrong about a lot.
Wow, am I the glass is half empty type of person
Yeah.
today?
Yeah. You're a little grumpy today.
I
Man.
I'm hungry. Anyways.
Yeah. Okay. So the idea is that you can unlock the secrets for a successful living by understanding these vibrations of these numbers, the numbers in our birth date, our name, etc.
Mhm.
And numerology appears all over the world. I mean, all kinds of cultures use numbers like numerology from the Greeks to the Japanese to the Incans to the Egyptians to the Americans to, everybody has, all cultures have some form of numerology. I mean, it's basically considered a branch of astrology that kind of helps you make predictions using numbers to understand the traits of your personality, just like astrology does, and you can try to go through life, guide yourself based on what the numbers are telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Numerologists use different types of numerology to make these predictions, like your astrological.
Wow.
I am struggling today, you guys. It's been a long ass day. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I feel like it's been a long ass week and it's not near being over. I don't even
Yeah.
know when this episode is coming out right now. I'm just trying to get it recorded so that we can
Yeah.
get it out on time,
Yeah.
whenever that is.
Yeah.
Um, just like your horoscope, it predicts the traits and characteristics and your compatibility with other people and that kind of thing. So, like people read their daily horoscopes, there's
Yeah.
probably a way to use numerology on a daily basis, which we don't get to in this particular episode, but it will be in part 2. And hopefully Jessica can help us. Maybe she can even be a guest
Oh
on our show.
yeah.
That
I
would be
know if
cool.
we would keep talking about that, and we are very serious. We would love to have you guys on our podcast.
Hmm.
But when we have time?
I know.
Everyone's
And
schedules are all over
everybody
the
has
place.
schedules, so trying to get a
Yeah.
guest who has time as well, it's anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's actually a bunch of different types of numerology, and the oh, that's funny, I spelled in my notes, I spelled it numberology. Well, which it kind of is, but
I'm
that's not
like,
a word.
we both seem to have had long days, and that didn't phase me at all. I was like, yep, you right. That's numerology is
Numberology,
absolutely.
that's my new thing.
It
Okay.
sums up the day. Yep.
So Pythagorean numerology. This is the system that helps people evaluate and understand the harmony that they would have in their relationships with themselves and with the people around them. This
Mhm.
form was developed, obviously, by Pythagoras, who was that Greek philosopher who came up with the Pythagorean theorem,
A squared
and a
plus B squared
mathematician.
equals C squared.
Absolutely.
Yep. 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 Yep.
And this type of numerology came about because he thought that everything could be broken down into numbers or mathematical calculations. To him, the
Hmm.
world was numbers.
Hmm.
And all the numbers ranging from 1 to 9 hold certain energy and vibrations that can be both used both positively and negatively, which makes me wonder, can you use numerology and magic on the dark side? I don't know.
Oh, probably.
I haven't gotten to that yet.
But there are numbers even between our numbers.
That's true.
So
Yeah, we're just
if
talking about the whole integers, 1 to 9 for the Pythagorean
yeah, and so
numerology.
there's infinity amount of numbers in between our 1 to 9
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Mm-hmm.
We always say possibilities are endless, but in this case,
They truly
it's
are.
really true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's I could go nerd on y'all. I could go full on
Wren,
mathematic physics geek.
you go nerd on us all the time.
But this one would be a different side of
A
me that
different
y'all have
nerd
never
journey.
seen me. Yeah.
This form looks at the compatibility level, both romantically and how much you can contribute to the connections of others all around the world. So
Hmm.
it's the interactions that you can do as well as that you receive all boil down to these numbers. This theory, this method is the most widely used over the world. Pythagoras actually looked at the world in quite a unique way. I don't know that there's anybody else like him out there. He said numbers rule the universe. He also believed that to understand God and the universe, we first had to understand ourselves, which Wicca does that as well. Their ideal is know thyself. So
Hmm.
numbers are definitely into the witchy way of life. And I can't believe we had never thought to do this until Jessica, suggested it.
Hmm.
The main focus for Pythagorean numerology are the numbers 1 through 9 and your birth date. Okay, so I came across this website that was very helpful, and I'm posting all of this. I will probably do a blog post about this as well, because so much of it, it's hard to talk about. You actually need to see it. So I'll probably post a blog post after this comes out, just so everybody can run to that and say, oh, now I see what she's talking about.
Yeah.
But this website said, let's use the birth date, May 26, 1975. And
Okay.
different websites do different things. Like some say it needs to say the 1975. This particular website used 5-26-75, left out the 19, which affects everything, honestly. But anyway, so
Yeah.
what you do is you add the 5 plus the 2 plus the 6 plus the 7 plus the 5. That adds up to 35. You're trying to get this number down to a single number. So you then add the 3 plus the 5 of 35, and you come up with the number 8. That is considered a person's life path number. So we now have this person who was born May 26, 1975, has an 8.
Okay.
The only time you don't reduce a double digit number down to a single digit is if they are, I almost called them magic numbers, master numbers, which I
Oh.
think they are magic numbers, but like 11 and 22, some sites I came across said 33, but 11 and 22 for sure, which
Mm-hmm.
is interesting because those are also supposed angel numbers.
Uh-huh. They
I
are.
have a friend who's all about the angels, and 11, 11, 11, and 22, that kind of thing, are really important to her. So
Okay.
these master figures represent higher levels of awareness and achievement. And 11 represents the messenger or the illuminator, 22 is the teacher, and 33 is the sage or the leader. So the life
Okay.
path number reveals personality traits, challenges you may face, lessons that you're here on earth to learn. You use consonants, vowels, and a chart that coordinates letters to numbers in this type of numerology. I think in most numerology types, you do this correspondence with letters to numbers, and it can tell you all kinds of things. Do you understand? It's hard to tell you without showing you in writing. So I'm hoping that this makes sense. I'm hopefully Jessica's going, yep, that's right.
Yep. Yep.
Um, I'm worried that at some point she's going to be going, oh, River, no, that's not right. But she can correct us, and I will tell you
Yeah.
all the next episode. All right. So there's actually 6 cores in this Pythagorean numerology system, 3
Oh.
using your birth date and 3 using your birth name. So the
Ooh.
first one is the life path number. This is the most significant number in a person's life because it tells you what direction you should take in your life. It's like
Oh.
the main theme of your life.
Oh, I should do that.
Yeah, this is fascinating. I've been playing with numbers all afternoon while I was doing these notes. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
You calculate this life path number by adding all the numbers in a person's full date of birth. So in the example, it was 8. But to me, was that really the full date of birth because it was a 7-5 and not a 1975?
I feel
I
like it
don't
needs
know.
the 19.
I think
Like,
so
why are
too.
you discarding the year just because, oh, everybody was born,
Yeah, because
before
at
the
some
2000s, like,
point
oh,
there will
everybody
be,
was born in 1990.
I mean, at some point it'll be 2075. And at some point back in the
Yeah.
past, it was 1875. So
Yeah. So
I
I think
do
the
feel
one
like
nine.
that. I mean, to me, and it says full, the full date of birth. So to me, full includes the 19th. Anyway, so I think that their sample was incorrect, but
Oh,
that was the sample. So that's what we came up with. And their
n-
number was 8, according to
not
how you add that up.
not you like shooting your shots like you're insulting them. My brain's not working today, and I had a really good you're spitting fire, but that's not the right phrase I want to say, and I feel like I sound out of my generation when I say that, and so you're being savage, to quote some of the younger generations.
A sassy. That's
Sassy,
my
that's a good word.
generation. Yeah.
That's a good word. Sassy. I'm over here, my brain is hurting. I'm like,
I
savage.
I do worry that some of our episodes are not the best given the days that we've had when it's time to
Oh,
record, but we do our best. We love you all. We want to make sure that these
uh-huh.
episodes come out when they're supposed to come out. So please bear with us.
Yeah, our brains are mush, but
But we're
we get it
here. We're
done.
here for you.
We're here.
Absolutely.
Moral
Okay.
support.
So the birthday number. The birthday number holds the key to your destiny. So this number reveals specific talents and potentials that you were born with, which can help you fulfill your life's purpose. It is the actual date of your birth. If it's 2 digits, you add them together until you get one number. So in the example, May 26, 1975, 26 is the day he was born. And so 26 is that number. It's a double number. So you then add the 2 plus the 6 and you get 8.
Okay.
So his birthday number is also 8, just like his life path number was.
Oh, that's cool.
The next one is your first impression number. And this is the number that tells us about the first impression that we have about other people when we communicate them for the very first time. And it also defines how you see yourself. So you add the day and the month of your birth and then reduce it to a single number. So May 26th would be 5 plus 2 plus 6, which is 13. It's a double digit. So you add 1 plus 3 and you get 4. The inner soul number shows you what your heart desires from the inside. This number is an inner reflection of you. It speaks about your deep-rooted desires, your inner cravings, your passions, your motivation in life. Ideally, you need to fulfill all of these desires in this lifetime to be completely satisfied in this life. Which makes me wonder, if you're completely satisfied in this life, do you not reincarnate because you've done what you're supposed to do? I don't know.
Man, that's deep.
I know. So to calculate your inner soul number, you need to take the vowels in a person's name and find the number that corresponds to that letter and then reduce it into a single digit. So there is this chart, which makes this very hard to talk about.
My
Because
brain hurts.
you can't see it, but there is a chart and it's got the numbers 1 through 9 on the top and then the alphabet listed below so that each letter corresponds with a number.
Okay.
So, for example, say the name is Alan Walker, Allanwalker. So the vowels would be A, E. So you look at the chart, A's are worth 1 point. E's are worth 5 points. So you say there's 3 A's. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 5 equals 8. So this person's inner soul number is 8. They're coming up with a lot of 8s in their life. Isn't that interesting?
This is a fictional person named Alan Walker who was born on 5/26 of 75.
Yes, it is a fictional person that I got. This example came straight from the website, one of the websites that I will post for you all to go.
Now, if that's your name and you were born on that date, send us a message and say yeehaw.
Yeah, we're talking about you. Although, well, I'll get to that later. So the next thing is the character number. And the character number tells us how people perceive us. So basically, it's your worldly image. It's what people usually pick up about you when they meet you.
Okay.
And to do this, you add all the consonants, just like you did the vowels before, you add all the consonants. I promise I have not had that much to drink. I know I sound really drunk. Okay. So for Alan Walker, it's LLNWLKR. L's are 3s on the chart. So it's 3 plus 3 plus 3. Anyway, it corresponds. You really need to be able to see the chart, but it's 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 5 plus 5 plus 2 plus 9, which equals 30, which is a double number. So 3 plus 0 equals 3. So 3 is the character number.
Okay.
Expression number. This is your afterlife number, and this apparently is the most important number in numerology. This number is derived from all the letters in a person's full name. The expression number depicts a person's, wow, I really do sound drunk, a person's natural capabilities, talents, and shortcomings that they're born with, which might affect or help them in their lifetime. So if you're born with certain skills that are not being put to good use, finding out your expression number might help you because you then realize, hey, these are untapped capabilities that I've got and can help me succeed. So for this one, you add the letters of the first name and come up with a number. And then you add the letters of the second name and come up with a number, and then add those together and you boil it down to a single digit. So the first name, Alan, is 1 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1 plus 5, which is 13, double number. So 1 plus 3 equals 4. So that's for his first name. His
Mm-hmm.
second name, Walker, adds up to 25, which is a double number. So 2 plus 5 equals 7. So then you take the 4 plus the 7 and you come up with an 11. And to reduce it to a single digit, it would be 1 plus 1 equals 2. So the expression number is 2. Now,
But
yes, 11 is supposed to be a
me, I'm
special
raising my
number.
hand. What? What do you
Yes,
mean?
yes,
Question?
class.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's only maybe for the life path number that you don't reduce it. So I don't
Okay.
know. It could be that this number is also supposed to be 11 for this person. So, and I have another question. So, it says full name, just like with the
Hmm.
birth date, they left out the 19. I'm assuming that Alan Walker has a middle name. Shouldn't you be adding that in as well?
Hmm. I feel
And
like because that's your full given name.
and also, why separate first from second name? Why not add them all together?
Mm.
Because some sites, like I actually came across, I'm also a nerd, so I was looking up they had calculators. You could type in your name and come up with calculators. And so you just typed in your whole name. It didn't ask you to do your first name first and then your next name next. You just typed it all together. So I really think that this site might not be 100%, and that maybe you should add all of the letters. And then what happens if you get married? So I've taken my husband's last name. You've taken your husband's last name.
Hmm.
So does that mean our numerology numbers now change because we have a different last name? So do we do our first name, our middle name, our maiden name, and our married name? Or do we do, like, I go by my first name, my maiden name, and my married name? I don't use my middle name anymore. My
Hmm.
middle name is now my maiden name. So, and I think you hyphenate yours, I think. So, does that mean our numbers change? Which, I mean, when you get married, you do grow and change as a person. So does that mean our our numerology numbers have now changed because we have married and we have changed as a person?
I don't know. That's a good question because I would feel like it's your given name. But then also, why would it just be your given name if us as people we change over time and said since forth our last names when we get married, things change, name changes, blah blah blah.
Well,
So,
one of the types, which I'll get to at the very end, says that numbers are attracted to souls with certain names and birth dates and that kind of thing. So if that's the case, then I think you're stuck with your birth information. I don't know. So I couldn't find an answer to that question. Maybe Jessica
hmm,
knows. I don't know.
hmm.
Okay, so you guys go ahead and pause the podcast right now if you're able and go calculate your numbers. And I'm going to tell you what all the different numbers mean. So go do that and we'll wait for a minute.
Boop, 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 boop.
Okay. So hopefully you all have had a chance to go and find the little chart that I've been talking about. It's very hard for you all to see it without going and looking it up. So what does all of this mean? So the master numbers, the 11 and the 22, the 11 relates to faith and instinct. It also signifies anxiety and fear, and it's
Hmm.
known as the illuminator and whatever else I said before, I can't remember. The positive personality traits of 11 is number one, it's a master number. So if you're an 11 or a 22, then woohoo, yay for you because you've got a special number.
Woo.
It's believed that you have great manifesting potential if you are a number 11, which for witches, that is fantastic.
I think okay. think I did this once and I came out to be a one.
Hmm.
Now,
I will.
on what category? I don't know, but
I
one.
know. See, that's the other thing it didn't really explain either.
Hmm.
Is does the do wow do these numbers go to each category that we just talked about? So he's an 8 in this, and he was a 2 in this. A number 11 inspires others both through words and actions. You lead others by your own example. You have a magnetic personality, and you also draw people towards you. As long as you allow your intuition to guide you, success will kiss your feet, is what this site says.
Oh, okay.
Negatively for 11s, you are extra sensitive. And as a result, self doubt can make way into your life. And given the fact that 11 is a master number, you will have better potential than others, but better potential comes with greater challenges. You also might tend to be a daydreamer as opposed to being a high achiever. The number 22 as a master number, it's an extremely powerful number that symbolizes ambition and success. It is also known as the master builder. The positive personality traits are it's considered to be the most powerful number in the numerology name list. Since it is a master number, you were born with an enormous manifesting potential. People who fall into this category are internally driven to create a legacy for their family and the world at large, which can benefit many generations to come. Basically, you have you'll be highly capable of achieving great things in life. Negative personality traits. Since your goal is to create a legacy, and that's a huge thing in and of itself, you are going to come across a whole bunch of challenges and you might get overwhelmed by it. To ease your life, you need to allow others to help you. And for this personality type, I think it's difficult for them to acknowledge the need for help. You should support others, even if you don't receive support from them. And you should also exercise regularly. I'm like, okay, eat right, exercise. I don't know, to be strong physically and mentally to take on the world.
I mean, I guess working out and everything, like whenever I work out, I'm mentally better as well
I
as
mean,
physically better.
yeah, it does feel better. I
Hmm.
feel better when I work out. All right. So you said you thought you were a number one.
I think so, if I calculated it right a long time ago.
Okay. So a number one is a natural born leader. The positive personality traits are you are an independent type person who will most likely enjoy roaring success in any field of their choice because you are internally driven and extremely confident about your abilities, which I think that applies to you for sure. You also have an artistic side to you, which 100% you do,
Yeah, yeah, I
which will
do.
help you come up with innovative ideas.
Okay.
The negative side is that these personality types tend to be aggressive and self-centered in their approach towards life, not necessarily towards other people, but in how you go about trying to get your life's needs, which I don't see you that way at all. Individuals
Uh,
should be
I don't
mindful of how aggressive they get.
I don't think I'm that aggressive. I care about how I make people feel. So
Hmm.
I try not to hurt anybody. But now if you're standing in my way, I don't have a problem with telling that to you.
Yeah.
But I do it in a respectful enough way, depending on the situation.
Well, you're also empathic, so you don't like hurting people because you can
Yeah,
feel it, you know.
yeah.
It
Sometimes
says,
I have to block it out to be able to, you know, keep, yeah.
yeah, for your own
I
personal
mean, yeah,
journey in life.
you
Yeah.
have to, I mean, you can't always be nice.
Yeah. The key is to be a leader and not a bully.
Yeah.
And the craving to be independent should not mean rejecting solid advice from well-wishers in your life.
I have a hard
There,
time with that.
yeah, there's no limit to what you can achieve in life if you follow your unique vision and keep these negative traits in check at the same time.
That seems not too bad.
Okay. So number two, if you're a number two, if you've done your little math and you've come out with a number two, you are the romantic partner. The positive personality trait is that you are someone who is open to deep psychic understanding. Basically, you have the heart of a healer, which will help you make friends easily in life. You are also driven to finding a romantic life partner who is equally romantic as you. Due to your hardworking nature, you are able to maintain a great deal of focus on your career as well. That said, you're able to perform best in a partnership or in some kind of group activity. You are not the individualist that number one might be. To sum it up, individuals with a name number two are able to maintain a good balance of money and relationship to live their lives in peace and harmony. So number two is a good one.
Okay, you sound very love peace hippie.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I was playing with all these numbers earlier, and I was doing it with my maiden name and I was doing it with my married name. And now I don't remember what number I turned out to be. I don't know.
Hmm.
So the negative side of a number two is that in the attempt to please others, you might stretch past your routine boundaries and others might take advantage of you.
Mm.
Also, there's a likelihood of being underappreciated and exhausted in life because of such relationship turmoil, and you're highly sensitive in nature. So, to avoid these negative traits associated with your name number, you shouldn't look to please everyone. Instead, you should tune into your inner peace and not always be oversensitive to the feelings of others, which is really hard if you are an empath.
Yeah, number one needs that too.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I was a number two. One of the numbers I came up with as a
hmm
number two, but I'm not positive.
hmm
Number three is the communicator. And number three positive traits are you consider yourself to be a born communicator. And because of your communication skills, you're able to tackle a lot of uncanny situations in life with great ease. You will also have a presence that's going to attract others to you like magnets. Your positive and joyful nature will win you lots of friends, and you'll be seen as a trustworthy figure as well. If you wish, you will truly be able to live the life of your desire. The negative traits are your own self-doubt. You can actually be the villain in your own life. Because of this, you could set yourself on a self-destruction path instead of working on your dreams. So the key the key for this is to avoid self-doubt and feelings of depression and negativity, easily said, not so easily done.
hmm
Your life will truly blossom when you steer away from things that can make you feel undervalued and scattered.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. I have attachments to number three, so that's fine. I'm
Okay.
just trying to like I think I was a one, but I'm like, was I actually something else? And I feel no similarities to number one.
Mm.
I mean number one, number three.
Number four is a born teacher. So
Mm.
the positive personality traits, like the born leader, which was number one, you are someone who is strong both mentally and physically. You will do anything for the loved ones in your life. You are honest and hardworking. You have a practical approach towards life. My sister is like this. I wonder if she's a number four.
Hmm.
People around you will count on your wisdom and advice to do better in their lives because you will possess a lot of knowledge that can be of great help to others. Given your personality traits, you will be successful in life and you will also help others be successful in life.
Hmm.
The negative side of things is you could end up working too hard due to your stubborn and inflexible nature. As a result, you could take on too much stress. You should not attempt to be bossy. Instead, you should be willing to delegate responsibility to others. You should keep your eye on the bigger picture and not the minor details. That's what born leaders do. So you will have to relearn how to be a leader to make your life much easier and successful without all that extra stress.
hmm Okay.
Number five, and I know I came up with this number in one of the calculators that I did. Number
Okay.
five is the freedom seeker. The positive personality traits is that freedom will drive you. You are someone who will be born with numerous skills and talents. So a routine, predictable life will not appeal to you at all. Moreover, you will end up having more than one career. Joyful, charming, and energetic, you will be highly successful at anything you pour your heart and soul into. To explore new opportunities, you should also switch your geographical location often. Which I don't. I've been in the same place for a long, long time.
Hmm.
Your negative personality traits are your fear of losing your freedom and adventurous life could lead you to drugs, alcohol, or similar destructive things. Due to the numerous skills and talents, you could also lack direction in life. So it's important for the number 5 name number individuals not to waver into the path of sex or drugs. Even if you want to try out different options, it's important to stay fully committed to a chosen project and not be impatient or restless all the time. And I have a problem with wanting to do 50 million things all the time. I have
Hmm.
several businesses and it's just I do. I feel like I do have a lot of the number 5 freedom seeker things in my personality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number 6, the nurturer. You are a born nurturer who feels very inclined to help others and comfort others in need. Almost everyone around you will turn to you for help. Unlike others, you will have a solid sense of responsibility and balance in life. Therefore, you will hardly ever let anyone down. Your nature will be that of a perfectionist, trying to give your best shot at everything in life, especially when it comes to helping those who love you the most. Negatively, you could end up doing too much for the welfare of others at your own expense. Also, you have a hard time distinguishing between interfering and helping. As a
Ooh.
result, you may find yourself being overly exhaustive with less time to work on your own dreams. Therefore, you
Hmm.
should not have a self-sacrificing nature at all times in order to be happy and successful in life.
Okay.
Number 7 is the thinker. So if you're a number 7 person, you have a mystic side to your personality. You will be blessed with a thoughtful and intellectual mind. You will have the uncanny ability to see the truth in just about any situation out there. And due to your strong intuition, you will always end up being at the right place at the right time. That being said, you can often be seen as cold hearted and selfish. On the bright side, you will use your sharp mind to find a career that will lead you to an independent and peaceful life. Negatively, you don't trust others easily. Your search for infinite wisdom could also make you an antisocial person. Also, you might find yourself in a situation where you feel betrayed by others. And once you master the art of trusting your gut, you won't end up in those betrayal situations as often. So you've got to figure out how to do that, trust your gut, and you will automatically start steering yourself away from people and situations that prevent you from being successful.
Hmm.
Number 8 is the achiever. The achiever is a materialistic person who cares a great deal about status and success. That being said, you are highly practical. You will have your eyes set on the bigger picture at all times. You will have more of a business minded approach towards life. So you will be capable of accumulating a great deal of fortune in your lifetime. When faced with failure, you will dig in and try harder than before. No one will come close to beating you when it comes to you working on a well laid out plan or project. Negatively, you are rigid and stubborn, and you might also cross the line between being ambitious and overambitious. You could turn extremely restless and impatient with the lack of progress. I can see that. So the can do attitude can sometimes backfire. For your own betterment, you must avoid the urge to be extremely ambitious. You could do more harm than good by your tendency of taking up highly ambitious personal and professional plans. That
That
that's
sounds like,
hard though. If
yeah,
you're a person who is really ambitious, it's hard to say, "Oh, no, I'm not going to try that."
yeah, that sounds like my husband.
I was
He's
thinking it
super,
kind of sounds like mine too.
yeah, he's super ambitious and everything. And then as soon as something happens, and he's like, he has this phrase of like, I don't want to get too excited, because then it won't happen. But
Hmm.
it's not because he gets too excited, it's because it doesn't work out as planned. And then he's like, okay, let me do something else,
Hmm.
you know?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Number 9 is the wise one. You're an old school guy. You're born with a great deal of wisdom and spiritual insight. Basically, you're someone who can be called on as a natural teacher or a counselor who will help all the underdogs. Your success will come from sharing your knowledge with others because you are someone who genuinely cares about the other's well-being. As a result, you will be able to successfully counsel or teach someone. You would want people to look up to you as a humanitarian who is always available for any kind of help or support. Negatively, you will either be giving way more than is needed or not receiving due credit for your efforts. The materialistic reward for your spiritual service may not be what you expect. And
Mm-hmm.
you will be caught up with the past instead of focusing on a bright future. So
Mm-hmm.
this could be a major hindrance in your life. So
Mm-hmm.
therefore, you should learn to let go of the past so that you can direct your inborn gifts in the right direction and enjoy all the success that you deserve.
Okay.
So that was basically nuts and bolts of the Pythagorean numerology.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's other types as well. The Chaldean numerology, it uses a similar chart like what I found for Pythagorean, but different meanings. And it doesn't narrow down to one number. They use numbers, double digits all the way up to 99. So using my maiden name, I turned out to be a 55 on this one. And I can't go through all 99 meanings because
No,
you
yeah.
all would be bored to tears.
Yeah, y'all would be turning it off at 2.
But I was a 55 and in this Chaldean numerology. And this is a master number in Chaldean numerology. And it says, I am physically and mentally robust. I jump into many successful and short lived projects. And I am a freedom loving and like to travel, which some of that is accurate. I don't know that I'm physically robust. Mentally, yes. And my projects are never short lived because I don't give up on them. So
Hmm.
they're continuing projects, but I do jump into a ton of different projects. And I am a freedom lover and I do like to travel.
Hmm.
But this numerology method is a lot more detailed. So you all should go and look at the different types and play with these numbers as well. I think this seems to give a really good detail to it. And when I was doing some quick look to find out how to use numerology and magic, the Chaldean numerology was one that came up by other witches using this method. I don't know what method that Jessica uses. I would like to know.
Yeah, yeah.
There is the Tamil numerology, which originated in the Tamil region of southern India. This
Oh.
is the one I was telling you about earlier that believes that souls choose to materialize through the vibrations of the date of their birth and the name to participate in greater consciousness progress as per the numerology history. So they in this one, the number that you have at birth and the name that you have at birth is what's important
Okay.
because the numbers are the soul is drawn to these numbers.
Hmm.
And in this one, I am a 5. I am a 5 in Tamil numerology. Mercury is said to represent the number 5 in Tamil numerology. People enjoy being around them because they are energetic and positive. Despite having a great degree of flexibility, they can still live quietly in a variety of environments and adapt to climatic changes. In addition, people with the number 5 are drawn to challenging tasks and enjoy pushing themselves to the limit by tackling challenges that are challenging by nature. And that's
Hmm.
actually accurate as well.
Okay.
So, without going into all the details on each of those, because it would be a really, really long
Hours.
one. Yeah. I think probably for number 2, episode 2 of this, we
Hmm.
will look in how to use numbers and magic, which I think
Yeah,
is really relevant to our
yeah,
podcast.
yeah. I think
But
so.
otherwise, that's all I've got right now on the basics of numerology. So there, go
Hmm.
read, go look at the sites that I am going to cite, and we will definitely pick this up again to talk about magic on the magic side of numbers. And
Yeah, I'm curious to
Jessica,
see mine.
yeah, let us know how you do it, what you do, what you find
Mm-hmm.
interesting about it. Any other listeners that are out there who use numerology in their practice, let us know, email us, and we
Mm-hmm.
can update people on that. We're very excited to hear about that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for listening. You can find us on our website at www.c3witchypodcast.com. There you pretty much find everything about us. You can buy merch, find our newsletter of the month, find links to all our social media, bunch of stuff there. That's the first place to start.
Mm-hmm.
There's links to all our episodes there. If you want to support us, then please go to our Patreon or Buzzsprout, which you can also get to through our website.
Mm-hmm.
And not only will you be helping us out tremendously, but we also will give you access to our special bonus episodes and where we talk about the darker side of magic. We do that
Yes.
every other week. So there's bonus
After dark.
episodes after
Yeah.
dark. Also, leaving us a review on your platform of choice would be very much appreciated. We need to
Mm-hmm.
get word out about our podcast. We think it's worthwhile. So if you do, spread the word.
Yep.
So we'll be back.
We'll be back.
And until then, stay witchy.
Woo.